Hey, everybody. Welcome to Moments in Time with Uncle Phil. Today, we're going back to a time when you couldn't just ask your phone to play any song you wanted. You had cassette tapes, CD records, the radio. Maybe you even had a mixtape somebody made especially for you. We're going from 1980 all the way through to 2000. And tonight, we're talking about the music that became part of our lives. But this isn't just a trivia show. I'm going to ask you a question, and if you know the answer, put it in the chat. Then we're going to talk about the memories behind the music, because sometimes you don't remember what year a song came out, but you remember exactly who you were with and when you heard it. All right. All right. All right. All right, so we're going to start off in the year 1980. And I've been doing this format for just a couple times, and I'm pretty ground level getting started on this, so things aren't that polished, but it's been fun, and it's been fun interacting with the people, and sometimes I'll stay around and for several questions, and it's been great, but I haven't really reached a big audience yet, so I'm just starting this, so hopefully we'll grow in the near future. So I appreciate your help. All right, so 1980. Which singer released the hit "Call Me"? So I'm asking for a few different things on this one. I like to know the lead singer, the name of the band, and after we get through the answer, we'll get to what this show's really about, which is the memories. So in the comments, in the chat, anything that comes to mind, a memory of the song, who you were with when you listened to this, what was going on in your life, tell me where you're from. This is all about having a conversation and hanging out. So the questions are fun, and it's nice to get the answer right, but one thing that we can't get wrong is our memories. All right, so back to the question. Which singer released the hit "Call Me"? And the answer is Debbie Harry, and the band is Blondie. So what kind of conversation can we have about this question? Well, first thing that comes to my mind is that I think Miley Cyrus did a Blondie song. I'm not sure if it was this one. And on the internet, they had them singing. They'd play one, and then they would play the other, and it would be, who did you like more? And a lot of people said they liked Blondie the best, that her voice was powerful, and that Miley sang good, but it just wasn't the same. Well, we have, let's see, who joined us? Trace, Mexican Shrek, and Lumberjack. All right, how you doing? It's good to see you. So let me reintroduce you to what we're doing here. I'm going through some music trivia, but really it's not about the answers of the trivia question. We're just trying to stir memories. We're trying to go down memory lane. So whatever memory or whatever the question stirs in your heart, throw it in the chat and we'll talk about it. It's a lot more than just the answers. That's kind of just a breaking the ice for us to talk and hang out. And like I said, I'm just a low-level wannabe YouTuber, so hopefully, I love this format though, just talking and hanging out. But anyway, I got to go to work. After this, I'm working long hours at the steel mill. They're wearing me down. We've been working overtime every week for the last 8 months. So I don't have a lot of time to make this polished, but I do enjoy hanging out with everybody. All right, so next, we're still in the year 1980. What group had the huge hit, Another One Bites the Dust? Does anybody remember what group had the huge hit, Another One Bites the Dust? Trace, do you remember who sang Another One Bites the Dust? And I'll share a memory about this band. I won't say who it is yet, but I remember it wasn't, this is from 1980, and I don't know if it was the year 1980. It could have been 81, 82 maybe, but I was at the mall with my mom, and I was maybe 10 years old. And I seen this album, and I had heard songs by this band, and I really wanted this, I think it was a cassette tape, and I really didn't ask my mom for a lot of stuff when we would go shopping. I was just having fun hanging out. We'd go to the mall together, and she would go her separate way, go looking at clothes and doing her thing, and I would go to two stores. I would go to KB Toy and Hobby, I think it was, and so there was hobby stuff and toys or whatever. And then right next door to it was the record store. And as I got a little bit older, I would start going there. But so I really pestered her for this album, and I think she broke down and got it for me, even though I really didn't like looking back that I pestered her for that album, but she got it for me. And the group is Queen. Queen sang the smash hit, Another One Bites the Dust. And let's see, does anybody else have a memory of Queen? You go ahead and put that in the chat. And let's see. Queen, I guess it turns out one of the biggest bands ever. Let's see, they had Another One Bites the Dust, We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, so many hits. Were you guys a fan of Queen, of the band Queen? They had great guitars, and Freddie Mercury, one of the best singers. So they were great. All right, we're going to move on, and I challenge anybody to step up to the plate and share a memory. So now we're in the year 1981. Which singer had the major hit 9 to 5? Does anybody remember that song, 9 to 5? I remember there was also a movie with the same title, 9 to 5. Anybody remember who sang the song 9 to 5? They were also in the movie. And if you do remember who sang this song, do you remember any other songs that this artist sang? Let's see. This artist sang a song. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but about a coat made of several different pieces of material or patches or something. It was a neat song. Oh yeah, and also back in these days, this artist sang with Kenny Rogers. I think they had a little concert show that they had on TV or something, and they sounded great together. So, 1981, which singer had a major hit with the song 9 to 5? And it was also a movie. Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton sang the song 9 to 5. All right, so here we go, 1982. And now we're getting to another big artist. Maybe they don't get bigger than this artist. What Michael Jackson song became one of the biggest hits from Thriller? Well, this is kind of a trick question because there were so many big songs from the album Thriller. So, in your opinion, what was the biggest song from the album Thriller? And did you have any, were there any songs that you liked from Thriller? I would say there was several that I liked. And what memory can I think of from the album Thriller? Well, I can think of the title track, Thriller itself. Thriller had it was like one of the most sophisticated, complex music videos of its time. Thriller. It was kind of controversial because, it had people coming out of graves and looking all like they were in a horror picture and stuff. So, 1982, what Michael Jackson song became one of the biggest hits from Thriller? And what we're doing today is we're just going down memory lane. This isn't all about the answers. When I ask a question, these are conversational questions. So anything that comes to mind, let's talk about it. And like I said, we're just starting this show, so I don't necessarily plan on this live stream to be, viewed by too many people, but you got to start somewhere, and I'm trying to build this starting now. All right, what Michael Jackson song became one of the biggest hits from Thriller? Billie Jean. And let's see, what do we remember from Billie Jean? Do you guys remember when, I think it was a Jackson 5 reunion or something, or at an award show, and the Jackson 5 were there, but Michael performed Billie Jean, and he did the moonwalk, and people went crazy. Where were you guys? Were you around when the moonwalk came around, or were you not born yet? Could this date our age? Maybe some of you weren't even born yet. But if you were born and you're from this era, what did you think when you seen the moonwalk? Did you think, oh my goodness, what is he doing? How is he? I remember, here's another dated thing that will date my age. I was watching Johnny Carson, And Richard Pryor was on the show, and he was describing the moonwalk, but I don't think it was out at this time. And he was talking about how Michael Jackson was walking forward but going backwards. He was just amazed by the moonwalk, and so was everybody else. And I was, I was only 11 in 1982, and I remember when Thriller came out, the young kids would want to get parachute pants. Does anybody remember parachute pants? And also that red jacket with all the zippers. People were wanting that. It was kind of a fashion statement. All right, 1983. Which artist released Every Breath You Take? Which artist released Every Breath You Take? Now, you can call it an artist or a band. Either one will be either answer you have will be good. So today we're just trying to have memories, and this is conversational trivia. So once we talk about the answer, I'd also like to, for anybody that's brave enough to share something in the chat of a memory that the question stirs. A memory or a fact that you know. Anything you got is good. Which artist released Every Breath You Take? All right, I'll share a little bit. Now, this song, it seems like, it's like a love song or something, and it's got it's a really neat song. It's a good song, but it actually has a darker meaning behind the lyrics. And so what seems to be a love song is actually kind of someone stalking somebody and, watching them and things like that. But so which artist released Every Breath You Take? That would be The Police. Or Sting, however you want to call it, will be fine. Let's see. Does anybody know the instrument that Sting plays? I'm pretty sure that Sting plays the bass. All right. Here we go. 1984. Which female singer had a massive hit with Girls Just Want to Have Fun? Now, this was, I remember this. I'll share a memory. Not a specific memory, but more of a feeling of a memory that this was back in the MTV video days. And I was young, and we would watch these videos, and they would just be fun. We weren't stuck in a certain genre, I would listen to rock, pop, whatever they would play, whatever the radio played, whatever the parents played, different stuff, Elvis Presley, the Commodores, it could be anything. But, and MTV, it was neat. They had several different styles of music, but so it was kind of fun. It wasn't too serious. All right, so which artist released the big hit, Girls Just Want to Have Fun? And that was Cyndi Lauper. Any memories on Cyndi Lauper? Something that I think about with Cyndi Lauper, a couple things. She had a great voice. She had that big image and stuff, the red hair and flamboyant and things like that. But she had a great voice. But also, she had a little tie-in with wrestling before wrestling had as many people crossing over. So she was early. I remember she had Lou Albano in one of her videos, and different wrestlers and stuff. And I think she even got involved with WWF at the time. All right. So, what band recorded the song Jump? What band recorded the song Jump? Now, there was a couple people that made the song Jump. So this is the one that was a rock song and had one of the most famous, best, greatest guitarist in the band. What band recorded Jump? Does anybody have any idea who recorded Jump? And do you remember who the lead singer was? And about this band, let's see, we're trying to go down memory lane, and I remember this band. Oh man, I guess they were just like a cool rock band. They broke into the scene and changed things. Come here, Blackie. Have you guys met Blackie yet? Come here, Blackie. That's a good boy. There you are. That's my good boy. Blackie's a rescue dog. All right, Black, go lay down. Go lay down. Talk about it later. All right, what band recorded Jump? And the guitarist for this band was Eddie Van Halen, and the band was Van Halen. Yeah, so Van Halen, I remember in 1984, I was only 13. And I remember, I would play soccer, and there was a few of the kids on the team that they had, I guess, young parents, and they had guitars themselves and stuff. I guess you consider them the cool kids. But they were listening to Van Halen early on, and those early Van Halen albums were pretty amazing. And the 1984 album was pretty awesome also. All right, now we're all the way to 1985. Which singer released Take On Me? Which singer released Take On Me? And I'll give you a hint, but I don't think this will help that much because this isn't a household name. But Morton Harkett was the singer, and the band was Aha, Take On Me. Let's see now, what do we have? What memory do we have of Take On Me? I'm pretty sure that was the video that was kind of like a comic book, and it was in black and white mostly, and it was a guy and a girl, and they had race car, and it was kind of a one of a kind video, and there was a guy, he was, flesh. He was in reality, but then he's kind of breaking in between like comic book drawing. It was a neat video. Anybody remember that video? All right, so moving on. What charity supergroup recorded We Are the World? Does anybody remember that? These times, that was back when there was a big push to feed starving children, I guess you could say, from Africa. And this was this charity and group raised millions. They made a difference. In 1985, what charity supergroup recorded "We Are the World"? Does anybody remember that? What charity supergroup recorded "We Are the World"? USA for Africa. Has anybody heard of that? Yeah, they "We Are the World." That was oh my goodness, that had if you've never seen this video, you should go check it out. It had all the biggest stars at the time. Michael Jackson, I believe, helped write it and produce it and all that stuff. So he was at the top, but it had Lionel Richie, Diana Ross. It had Kenny Rogers, Cyndi Lauper. I think Bob Dylan was in there. Bruce Springsteen. Kim Carnes, maybe. I mean, it was definitely a super group. All right, which singer had the hit "The Lady in Red"? I remember that song. I don't have too many memories from this, but I do remember the singer. He sang another song, and I'll tell you the name of this other song, and maybe that'll help you remember who this singer is. This singer, and I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure I'm right, sang the song "Don't Pay the Ferryman." Does anybody remember that song? I remember that song. That was a neat song. "Don't Pay the Ferryman." So that person also sang the song "The Lady in Red." And that was Chris de Burgh. Anybody heard of Chris de Burgh? All right, so the name of the game today is put some memories in the chat. When I ask a question, it's not really all about the answer, but it's about starting a conversation, just hanging out. We're getting to know each other. And so if you would put something in the chat, and that'll help things out. 1986, what Bon Jovi song became one of the defining rock anthems of the decade? And for a little Uncle Phil trivia, this band was the opening act of the first concert I went to, first rock concert as a young teenager. And this was, they opened up for Rat. Does anybody remember the band Rat? So in 1986, what Bon Jovi song became one of the defining rock anthems of the decade? And when I seen them, it was in their tour that they sang "Runaway" and "In and Out of Love," which that was neat music, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. Then they came out with this album. The album was "Slippery When Wet." And the song, I guess that they're saying is the big one, was "Living on a Prayer." And what do we know about Bon Jovi's "Slippery When," or excuse me, Bon Jovi, "Slippery When Wet," or the song "Living on a Prayer," or even Bon Jovi in general? In 1986, I guess you could say the guys liked his music, and the girls liked his music also, but they, I guess you could say they liked him, and like they had crushes on him, the teenage girls. But 1986, now I was kind of, Bon Jovi was okay, but I was more into Metallica at the time. All right, 1987, which country singer released Forever and Ever Amen? So now we're doing a little country. Which country singer released Forever and Ever Amen? Now, a little thing that I know about this person, they have a great voice, and then they had some vocal troubles, and they lost their voice. And it was just a few years back, I heard this artist use AI and was able to make a new song. And what he did with AI is different than what some people do with AI when it comes to song making. Like, I make AI songs and I put them on my YouTube channel, and it's about the people I meet on the street and stuff, and different people. But I use AI voice and stuff. I just write the lyrics. But this artist did not use anybody's voice as the AI model except his own. So, because he has a full career of being a great singer. And so that was a good use of AI. It was very touching. So, which country singer released Forever and Ever Amen? That would be Randy Travis. Great artist. All right, here we go. 1987, going down memory lane. What band had a major hit with or Without You? And what do we know about this band? Any memories? I remember that before this With or Without You song came out, they had another album, and they were live in concert, and they sang a song, Sunday, Bloody Sunday. And I remember someone telling me, man, this band is going to be big. They're like the Beatles. And, they were seeming to be an okay rock band or new age band or whatever you want to call them. But it turned out they did become a humongous band. So that person, my friend Mike, had good insight on that. So what band had a major hit with or Without You? Does anybody remember that? So today we're doing some trivia. It's lighthearted, but what we're really doing is going down memory lane, and anything that these questions stir up in you, throw it in the chat, and I'd love to talk about it. What band had a major hit with or Without You? That would be the band U2. Does anybody remember the band U2? They did end up becoming a big band. Now, there was some controversy with this band. They, I think it was on Apple or whatever the music platform they have. They gave everybody a free download of their album, of one of their albums that came out, but people didn't ask for it, and they just put it on there. And I think even if you deleted it, it would come back. So people were upset about that. All right, 1988. Which singer had the hit Man in the Mirror? I always liked the concept of that song, Man in the Mirror. Like I said, I like to write songs, and I think that's a powerful concept to make a change in the world. Where can you start? Is it overwhelming? Oh, it's overwhelming. How are we going to change the world? And you can change it by starting with the man in the mirror. And the man in the mirror is yourself. So that was very powerful lyrics. That's what I remember about this song. And so which singer had the hit Man in the Mirror? That would be Michael Jackson. And do you have any favorite Michael Jackson songs? Put those in the comments or the chats. All right, 1988. What group recorded Pour Some Sugar on Me? Now, I was definitely into a lot of hard rock, metal music, and this band had some early heavy metal, I guess you could say, or some hard rock in their very early part of their career. And they had some great videos, early MTV videos. For example, they had a video called Foolin' and Rock of Ages. And but then they changed with this album, and it was still rock and roll, and it turns out very memorable album, but it was a little bit different. Seemed like the girls could appreciate this style of album a little bit better. All right, so Pour Some Sugar on Me. What group recorded Pour Some Sugar on Me? Def Leppard. So what memories do we have of Def Leppard? What other questions can we ask of Def Leppard? Did you like the Pyromania, In Through the Night? Can't remember the other album they had, but did you like their earlier stuff, or did you like their what was the album called? The song we're talking about is Pour Some Sugar on Me, and then the Hysteria. So yeah, that had some big videos. So would you consider yourself an early Def Leppard fan, or did you like them from the Hysteria on? And what memories do we have of Def Leppard? Well, I remember that their drummer lost his arm in a car wreck, and somehow he was able to stay in the band. The band stuck with him, which was impressive, and I like that loyalty. But he used electronic drums and was able to work it out somehow, some way. All right. We got several different genres today, and now we're to 1989. Which rapper or group, artist, group, which rapper released the groundbreaking hit, Fight for Your Right? Which group released the hit, Fight for Your Right? And we'll elaborate, Fight for Your Right to Party. And I remember back in the day, this album was huge, but I was more into the NWA and Eazy-E and Ren and Ice Cube and more of the gangster style rap. And I remember that I didn't give this album as much respect as I should have. And but anyway, it was a groundbreaking album, and it's a true classic. Which group released the groundbreaking hit, Fight for Your Right? And that would be the Beastie Boys. And a memory I have of the Beastie Boys is that video. That was a crazy video. They were a real rappers, and they had they were Caucasian rappers, and they didn't they were good. They stood their ground, but I do remember that they had Kerry King, the guitarist of Slayer, in their Fight for Your Right song, and I thought that was neat. All right. What singer had the country pop crossover hit, When I Think About You? Uh-oh. I don't have an answer for this one. Does anybody know this one? Help me out. What singer had the country pop crossover hit When I Think About You? I don't know the answer to that one. All right. 1990. We're in a new decade. Times are changing. Which rapper had the hit You Can't Touch This? And do you have any memories of this artist? And I have a memory. I remember that, well, for a couple things, that they had the big pants that blew up in the wind. And oh my goodness, this artist could dance and had the energy that was almost untouchable. But I also remember that this artist, like I said earlier, I was into the more of the gangster rap style stuff. And now this is another artist that people didn't realize this was a hard son of a gun, but his music wasn't portrayed himself as being as hard. But this was MC Hammer. You Can't Touch This. And he had crossover success. It wasn't just rap listeners that liked MC Hammer. Many people liked him. All right, so today we're just trying to have memories and conversations, and we'll let the trivia questions start the conversation. So anything you want to say, go ahead and put it in the chat and we'll talk about it. What band released Nothing Compares to You? Now you can call this a band or an artist, so however you want to consider it. What band released Nothing Compares to You? Now, what do I know about this song? Well, I'll tell you. Chris Cornell does a version of this song. He recorded it at a radio station, I believe, in a radio station studio, and it is powerful. I ask you, go check that out, because that's amazing. So, what artist released Nothing Compares to You? That would be Sinead O'Connor. And do you know who wrote that song? That song was written by Prince. And there was controversy to this artist. I remember they were on Saturday Night Live. And, I don't know all the reasons, but it was kind of shocking. The artist sang the song, and then she took a picture of the Pope and tore it up. And I think that cost her a lot, professional-wise. All right, so which band released the landmark album Nevermind? So the 80s are gone, and we're in the 90s. Times are changing. So any memories from the band that released the album Nevermind? Now, these guys were part of a handful of bands that brought a whole new genre to pop culture. So does anybody remember what band had the album Nevermind? That was Nirvana. And any memories on Nirvana? I had spent a little time in Washington State, and I remember, hearing some of their earlier albums, and they were pretty heavy, and but they hit really mainstream success with the album Nevermind. And what was the big hit from Nevermind? Smells Like Teen Spirit. And that was, that Smells Like Teen Spirit. Them lyrics were never in the song, but that was the title of the song. All right, we're driving forward down memory lane, and we're to 1992. Which country singer had a huge hit with Achy Breaky Heart? And you can go watch that video, and or I seen this artist performing it, or he would do some dancing, and the girls loved him. Had a big old mullet, but which country singer had a huge hit with Achy Breaky Heart? That was Billy Ray Cyrus, the dad of Miley Ray Cyrus. So his legacy lives on. All right. 1992. What group had the hit Under the Bridge? There's a lot of, I think, different people believe that there's different meaning behind this song, and I'm not sure. I've heard different things, but I guess I've heard different things from drug theme, Under the Bridge, not necessarily glorifying using drugs, but maybe where drug use brought a person. Then I've heard maybe a song about maybe hurting yourself, different things. I don't know exactly the meaning of the song, but that was the band, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Do you know what this song's about? Drop that in the chat or the comments. All right, 1993. Which singer released I Will Always Love You for the Bodyguard soundtrack? Which singer released I Will Always Love You for the Bodyguard soundtrack? And earlier we had talked about an artist who wrote the song 9 to 5, or sang the song 9 to 5, was in the movie 9 to 5. Well, that artist had originally done the song I Will Always Love You, but when this artist did I Will Always Love You, that song basically became theirs, because that's how good of a version they did. And by the way, we were talking about this being from the soundtrack, The Bodyguard. Did anybody see the movie, The Bodyguard? That was a good movie. And so Whitney Houston, she sang I Will Always Love You for the Bodyguard soundtrack. And also she starred in the movie The Bodyguard. And does anybody remember who the male main character was? None other than, what's his name? Kevin Costner. All right, here we go. 1993. Welcome to 1993. What rap group or artist released the hit Nothing But a G Thing? Now, this was more of the style of rap that I liked. What rap group released the hit Nothing But a G Thing? And that was Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Doggy Dogg. It's hard to believe that we were just getting introduced to Snoop Dogg in 1993, and he's been part of pop culture ever since. All right. Does anybody have a favorite song by Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg? Or put in the comments what kind of rap you liked back in the day, or even what kind of rap you like now. All right, 1994. Which band released Black Hole Sun? Which band released Black Hole Sun? That was a strange video. But I had mentioned the lead singer of this band a few questions ago when we were at the Nothing Compares to You question. And Sinead O'Connor sang that song and written by Prince. But also I had said that Chris Cornell did a version of Nothing Compares to You, and Chris Cornell was the lead singer of this band. So which band released Black Hole Sun? And that's Soundgarden. Like I said, I had spent some time in Washington State and got to hear some of the earlier albums from Soundgarden and Nirvana. And but Soundgarden, good band. 1994. Which country artist released I Swear, later becoming a huge crossover hit? Now, also, there was a young rhythm and blues band that sang I Swear. But right now, we're looking for the country artist that released I Swear. I remember, I could be wrong, but I'm only going by my memory. And but the artist is John Michael Montgomery. Which country artist released I Swear? John Michael Montgomery. But I remember that he won a country talent competition. I believe. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Let me know if I'm right or wrong in the comments. All right, 1995. We're getting towards the end. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Which singer had the huge hit Gangsta's Paradise? And I believe this artist recently passed away. Which singer had the huge hit Gangsta's Paradise? And also that was from a movie soundtrack, I believe. And let's see, I don't remember the name of the movie, but I remember Michelle Pfeiffer was in it. Let me know if you remember that movie. Coolio. Coolio is correct. Now, The Adventures of Smokey and the Bandit, do you remember what movie that was from? Like I said, that movie had Michelle Pfeiffer in it, and she was a teacher, but I can't remember the name of the movie. But let me know if anybody, if you know what movie the song Gangster Paradise come from. All right. Good answer. Next question. We're all the way to 1995 and we're going to the year 2000. So we got 6 more questions. Which female artist released You Ought to Know? Which female artist released You Ought to Know? Now, what memories or tidbits do I have about this? Let's see, I think that this artist was from Canada. And I guess grunge was kind of going on at this time. And been going on for a little bit at this time. So this artist kind of changed their image. They, if you go before this album and their career before this, they were not like they are from this album. Which female artist released You Ought to Know? And the answer is Alanis Morissette. And she had a couple songs from this. That song, this is the one that talks about the theater. Dangerous Minds. That is correct. Dangerous Minds, yes. Now, The Adventures of Smokey and the Bandit, where are you from? Where are you out of? Yeah, that was a good song. And like I said, I think Julio passed away in the last several months, but I could be wrong. And, I don't have all the answers. This is about having conversation, but I'm pretty sure about the things that I say. All right. Yeah, Alanis Morissette, she sang You Ought to Know, but they, Chicago, well, I'm from Illinois too. I'm from the St. Louis area. What Philly group sang the song Sideshow in 1974? Uh-oh, now we're going a little... Philly group, can I get the first letter at least? The first letter of the band. Can you help me out? Lenny? Come on, Lenny, give me a hint. Give me the first letter of the band. We're trying to... All right, B. Blue Magic. Wow. Now that would have been double point question because that was a tough one. That was a tough one. All right. So, yes, Adventures of Smoking and Bandit. I'm from the St. Louis area. I live in Illinois. I work in the town of Granite City. You ever heard of Granite City? All right. So, moving on to the next question. Now, this is pop as it gets. What group had the worldwide hit Bop? Now, what do I remember from this band? I remember, I guess they were brothers, and three brothers. Lenny, you're going to have to come back and visit when we do all different styles of music. I don't know if you're more of a 70s kind of guy. We do some of that, but we're doing 80s through 2000 this time. And I appreciate you being here. But let's see. What group had the worldwide hit Bop? And that was Hanson. Does anybody remember the band Hanson? All right. 1997. Just a few more questions to go. Which singer released My Heart Will Go On for the movie Titanic? Which singer released My Heart Will Go On? Now, this artist, they've had some medical conditions. I think they had throat condition, but they also had something, I believe they had stiff person disease or something like that. All right. So, which singer released My Heart Will Go On for the movie Titanic? Does anybody remember the movie Titanic when it came out? Back in the day when it came out, they compared Titanic with Gone with the Wind. And my dad and my stepmom, they went and seen the movie, but they weren't having it. They did not believe that Titanic was as good as Gone with the Wind. What's your opinion? Was Titanic one of the top movies ever? So, which singer released My Heart Will Go On? And that was Celine Dion. All right. 3 more questions. Which boy band released I Want It That Way? Which boy band released I Want It That Way? And I think they had let's see, NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I get them confused. But this was the band Backstreet Boys that sang this one. But each of these groups had a big solo artist that come out of them. Which boy band released I Want It That Way? And that was the Backstreet Boys. So were you a Backstreet Boys guy or were you an NSYNC guy? Which rapper released Forget About Dre, which also had Dr. Dre in it? Which rapper released Forget About Dre? Some consider this artist to be the greatest rapper of all time. A lyrical genius. Which rapper released Forget About Dre? Eminem. Anybody remember when Eminem came out? He changed things. He hit with the big splash. All right, so I thank everybody for stopping by. Uncle Phil loves you, like the hat says. I ask you to check out my my YouTube channel. It's has different things in it. I'm just starting the trivia music conversation thing, but I ask you to please help support me. I'm trying hard to grow, and I could use your help. All right, last question. The year is 2000. Which singer had the massive hit Bye 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 with NSYNC? Oh, I don't know the name of the singer. Was that the band was NSYNC. Who was the lead singer? Was that Justin Timberlake? That's my guess, Justin Timberlake. You let me know if that's the lead singer of NSYNC. All right. I just want to thank everybody for stopping by today. Uncle Phil loves you. Plan to do more of these. We'll have different categories. But if you stop by this time and you come back next time, remember, it's all about the memories. It's not all about getting the answer correct. So we'll come up with different topics to talk about. But music is one of my favorites. All right. For now, Uncle Phil loves you, and Uncle Phil out. Tell him bye, Blackie.